All right.
So, Michael, season 4.
I know.
And I have some questions for you.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, how do you not crack up every time you were filming the show?
It's intense, the show, to film and to pull it off. You know, I watch it later and I laugh. And I kind of ask myself the same question. It's like, how did I not laugh during that? But when I'm actually in it and I'm like, my focus it's difficult to do. It's like fishing. You know, you get someone in the lair and I'm about to fool them. It's like all systems go. I don't want to mess it up. I want it to go right. I want it to work. So it's just not funny until later.
Because it's hilarious later.
I agree.
So you're telling me you never cracked up, not even once?
One time. I did crack up one time. I was doing a trick with an orange and it was supposed to squeeze out like endless juice. And my secret mechanism kind of overexerted itself. And I just was holding this orange and I squeezed it and it just exploded on myself and the person in front of me, like right out in the middle of Sweet Auburn Market in Atlanta. And I just cracked up.
So what happened then?
I tried to make it like, the device was this little juicer, and it was a juicer that you can put into, is like the size of a pen cap, and you can stick it into an orange or any fruit, and the juice will come right out because it juices the pulp. It pulps the pulp. That was the theory behind this. And what I did was, when I squeezed it and all the juice just exploded, I laughed, and I was like, and I'm laughing because it's so easy. I think that's what I said. I'm not sure I got away with it.
So you did get away with it?
I did get away with it. I continued, and I just pretended that sometimes, you know, I probably said something like that. It'll do that in the beginning, and then it'll calm down or whatever.
That is so funny. Every time I'm watching, I'm like, there's no way he could keep a straight face.
Yeah, yeah.
But just once.
Just one time.
Okay, so do people recognize you? Because we talked earlier, and so you don't live in Atlanta, but the show was filmed there a couple of years. It was filmed in Chicago a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So there are a few places where I think people would know that the show is being,
right.
You know, that's a location. So does anyone recognize you, either during filming?
Yeah, I get lots of people who will, you know, I think that I'm definitely in a zone now. I had no idea we'd be doing this many of these shows. I can't believe it still works. I'm like overjoyed that I can still perform this in front of people, and there's tons of people who don't know who I am. And the people who do, I can see it, you know, they can see it, right? If they walk into a store and their faces change, I'm like, oh, this person knows. Or it's really fun that I've gone halfway through a bit before the person's like, wait a minute, are you Michael Carbonaro? And that's really fun too. We've showed that on the show. So
that is fun. I think that would probably almost be more fun.
It's bizarre. You know, people have a thing. I know that when you see somebody that is famous or like is recognizable, there's a thing like you feel familiar because you watch them on TV and you feel like you know them or something. But I think with my show, because it's hidden camera and the viewer is like sort of on my side, like we're fooling these people. Like the viewer is in on it with me. So there's an even deeper sense of someone feeling like I'm their buddy or like I'm there's a very precious closeness that people have, and I think it's really neat. You know, I think it's always really cool when I get to go do a live show and I meet people afterwards and how much they are affected by the show and how much they just have this really, I don't know what it is, it's just this unbelievable amount of appreciation for what we're doing, and it's lovely.
Yeah, that's cool. Does it ever get old or not really?
What do you mean?
Like if you're recognized at some point when you don't feel like being recognized?
Oh my God, no, I have terrible troubles with fame. I mean, I do. I'm not great at it. I'm not. You know, I thought I might be. It's bizarre sometimes to feel like, you know, anytime I go out, I know that someone might be just staring at me somewhere that I don't know, or like I'm eating my lunch somewhere, or someone might be taking pictures, or it's a bizarre feeling. Or sometimes, you know, I always say to myself, you know, like someone might come up to me and be like, hey, can I take a video for my daughter? And I'm always like really gracious. Most of the time I'm trying to learn. Like sometimes I might be like walking to get to my plane and I'm like, well, I can't stop and do a video. You know who's good at this? Penn Jillette. He has this really cool theory where he's like, I'll talk to anybody, but I'm not gonna stop. Like if he's walking through an airport and he's getting somewhere and someone wants to say, hey Penn, he goes, hi, how are you? And they can walk him all the way to the gate if they want to, but it doesn't like stop so I'm still trying to figure that all out.
So are you self-conscious on that kind of anywhere you are now? Thinking that somebody could like identify you?
Yeah, there is a self-consciousness, of course, yes.
I guess that's the problem with
it's
success.
You know, it is, and it's funny to like, sometimes it's hard to talk about because you're getting to, I got to a place where I want to be. It's like, you know, you want to get a show and you want to be famous, and then that stuff that comes with it, you're like, oh, careful what you wish for. There is a lot, you know, it changed my life. It changed me and my husband's life, you know, being...
I didn't know. You're married?
I'm married, yeah, for 4 years? I think 4 years.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're still kind of a newlywed then.
Yeah, but we've been together for 12 years, maybe more. I met him in New York. Peter Stickles, actor as well, which I never thought would work. I was like, I'm never going to be with another actor because that would be crazy, but it works.
So it wouldn't work because...
I just thought that if I was going to meet someone, I used to joke that I'm like, if the person I want to meet has to A, not be an actor, and B, they have to be on the same cell service. That was what I used to say. And then I found someone who was not only on a different cell service, but was an actor as well.
Why the same cell service? I don't get
I was just teasing. It was just for free minutes.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. That's when it was like, are you AT&T? Are you Verizon? I don't want to call you. I want to call that part.
Right. So but now it makes no difference, right?
Well, that's when I was out in the market. You had to worry about cell service.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
So you got married 4 years ago. You live in...
It might be 5.
Do you remember the year?
2013.
So
it's 5.
Do you remember the month? Because then we'll know.
June 1st. July 1st. July 1st. July 1st. Oh my gosh. Guys are allowed to do this. If I had a wife, right, I'd be in big trouble. I don't think either of us know. We're always like, June, July, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's almost 5 years.
It's almost 5 years.
It will be on July 1st.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So you live in California?
Yeah. Yep.
And
in
what's
LA.
your life like there?
Well, we were both from New York, and he moved out to LA first, and I don't think I ever would have did it. I never would have done it. I wouldn't have taken the jump out to LA. You know, he went first. He had an opportunity to shoot something, and he went out there and set up an apartment, and was like, "You should move out here with me."
So why didn't you want to go?
I don't know. I'm very much like my father, very stubborn, very like grounded, a Taurus, and I don't know. I guess I never thought I was at the place where I kept thinking, like, you know, every actor, I think when you're in New York, you wonder, like, am I supposed to go to LA for this to all happen, or do I have to go? And you never really get a straight answer. So I was very curious, and I got to the point where I was like, I either have to try it to know it was a good idea or not a good idea, but I have to try it now. But I wouldn't have gotten to that place in my head if it weren't for Peter moving out there first, for sure.
Or you could still be questioning it today.
I'd be here questioning it. We'd be talking about whether or not I should move to LA.
Right.
I know.
Now.
I know.
So you did it and it worked out. You got the show while you were there?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that happen?
How did it happen? I was performing on late night. I do this really bizarre shaving cream act. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but I have this performance art piece that I do where I cover myself in shaving cream and sculpt myself into different monsters and creatures.
That sounds hilarious.
It's really cool. It's one of the most bizarre and special things that I do and get to perform. I share it. I close my live show with that every single night. And it's really fun. It's like a little vignette, like a guy in the bathroom kind of looking in the mirror, about to shave, kind of like, oh, what can I, you know, putting a little shaving cream on his face, and then like, hey, you know, what can I do with this stuff? And I start smearing it more and more and more and cover myself, and then I use the cream to sculpt faces and stuff with it.
So you do it without looking at anything at this point? You kind of know exactly what to do to build it up?
Yeah, and the reason I bring that up when you ask, like, how did the show come about, is because I have no idea. Like, I didn't know what, you know, here I was with this bizarre performance art piece that I love doing. It was like a mime piece, and I'm also a magician, and I perform all these magic tricks, and I also do television spots and like guest starring on shows. But it's like, am I an actor? Am I a magician? Am I a performance art? What the hell am I? You know. So when I was in New York, I used to bill myself as a performance bizarrist. That was like just a title that I could use, and so I was doing late night TV, and then I came up with magic to perform on the Tonight Show for a hidden camera magic segment that they were doing, and I did 8 segments over there, and it was amazing. I hooked up with the coolest magicians, and we started this like secret team, putting together this really, you know, you've seen the show. It's like it's a bizarre, this gray area between is something real or something not real, and I sort of discovered that while working the Tonight Show. I did those 8 segments, and it was like pretty clear that this could be way more. You know, I'd always dreamed of doing a candid camera type show, you know, where I can combine illusions and this was nice because I was doing it on a smaller scale, but it really opened up how I could expand. So I hooked up with Simon Fields, who's the producer of the show. Cool dude. I mean, he's the guy behind Billie Jean, you know, huge music video history, Billie Jean, and like a Virgin, Sledgehammer, all those like really magical images. He's so cool. He gets it. He totally gets it. And we just talked about what would it be like to do this as a show, like a full show, and what would it be like to talk to the viewer in between. And we didn't really know if it was going to work at all. And then it worked really well, really quickly. We shot the pilot, and people were just really excited, and it picked up really quick.
Back up.
Yeah.
So you had to like present this to a network, or like how did you start? You just decided on your own, we're going to have an idea and we need to pitch it to somebody?
Simon did
all that.
Simon had a relationship already with truTV, and True was looking for kind of a companion piece for the Impractical Jokers, you know, and so True was just changing over to more focus on comedy, and it was a really great match, and the viewers of Jokers really liked what I was doing, and it just worked.
So it was like almost like right away. It was like you knew it was a perfect fit, and so
it was,
True TV.
And boom, truTV.
And that was it. So then they said, yes, shoot some episodes, and we'll put them up.
Yeah.
How many?
Well, you know, in the beginning, I thought I thought we were going to do like 6 episodes and maybe 8. I think somewhere along the line someone was like, they might order 6, they might order 8, and all of a sudden it was like 13, and then another 13, and like, let's keep making them. And everyone was questioning, like, how do you do a hidden camera show with one guy? Like, is that going to work? Is it going to keep working? And I always thought, like, well, Alan Funk did Candid Camera for 25 years or whatever it was on television.
Right, but he wasn't in every
He wasn't always the
he?
front man. He was originally. You know, well, he started as Candid Microphone.
Oh, yeah?
It was Candid.
Radio.
Yeah.
Or was it a podcast?
Well, back then, right? I know. It was not on iTunes.
You mean Apple Podcasts?
That's right, Apple Podcasts. It was, Candid Microphone. He found that when he was interviewing people, that when the red light of the microphone went on, they clammed up. So he used to turn the light of the microphone on and explain, this is what it's going to be like when it's recording, and let me shut it off. And basically what we're going to do in the interview is this. And then he would do the interview with the mic off, and it was Candid Microphone. And people would really talk.
Very clever.
Very clever, right? And it's bizarre to think like Candid Camera, like it's such a beautiful title that was a later thing, that they went, well, you can go from Candid Microphone to Candid Camera.
It's so much better.
It's so much better. It's so much better.
It worked out beautifully. It was meant for TV.
And that show started out with really just the novelty of seeing somebody who doesn't know they're being filmed. Like that was the core novelty. Like that was what the show was about. Like they would do segments. It wasn't always like, let's do something weird and see how people react. It started with like, they would show people bowling.
Oh, so it would just be the sheer shock value of, I'm on camera?
Well, it actually began with, like they would show people, like let's say show people bowling, and it'd be funny to watch, like someone's about to make the shot and then they miss the shot, and the way their faces changed. It's just really entertaining. It's funny to watch humans that don't know they're being watched. So going back to fame, right? Going back to like people watching me. No, but
and it's like people watching too. Is there anything better than just sitting on a bench in New York City and just watching everybody go by?
It's the best.
Is there anything better?
No, it's really great. Yeah, you learn a lot.
Or anywhere. It doesn't have to be New York.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be New York.
But getting back to what you were saying.
Yes. What was I saying? Where are we?
How it started. Oh, because the big question was, could we do it with just one guy?
Right. Well, I have an amazing team, and the team has been involved more and more as we go. They kind of become players along with me in these little scenes, and I imagine as we expand, that's going to become more and more, and maybe it'll become necessary that I'm almost the punchline in a way. Maybe like me entering, someone will go, oh my God, it's that show, you know, and we can...
Well, that's what happened with Alan Fun, right?
Exactly. And then when you saw him, you're like, oh my God, you know, so he was
the dead giveaway.
So I can sit in the back smoking a cigar just by the monitors. Everybody else does it, and then I'll walk out, pop the balloons, champagne. That'd be nice. Take a little pressure off doing all of them.
That's the ultimate dream. But there is pressure. There has to be, because how many episodes a season are you doing now?
Well, that changes. We're above 80-something episodes already.
Right, so it is 20-something a season, right?
Well, a season, yes. season, yeah.
That's
And we shoot
a
them
lot.
in like half. We shoot an order and then and then a back order. So season 4, we just shot the front order of season 4.
Got it. So you.
But I'm so like spun up in this ride. Like literally, when we were wrapping the last shoot day, I somehow thought we were wrapping the end of season 4. I was like, here we go, guys, back order season 4, wrapping it up. And they're like, Michael, I'm like, oh, front order season 4. Whoa. A lot of magic tricks, just a lot of tricks.
What's the break between the front and the back order?
That's a great question. We're getting to it. It requires a lot of my time, so there isn't really a break. You know, it's all the prep. You know, I'm gonna have to be involved in the prep and in on the ground and looking at the locations, and it's a lot to do to make it work. I do have to be involved in a lot, so there isn't really the break period is really just the prep period. It just goes from one to the other. So I'm still finding a groove in that, and we're doing all right.
So what does the prep involve? So is there like a writer's room?
Yep.
Do you and Simon get together and come up with ideas? Like,
No,
walk us through.
I'll sit with some really incredible magicians. I have David Regal and Derek Hughes and Matt Schick and Darren Berger. These are all guys that I know who are incredible magicians. Some who I met at Tannen's Magic Camp. I was telling you I was at the Magic Camp, and we'll sit together and we'll just start thinking up stuff. I don't know where it comes from. I mean, I get that question a lot. I don't know, but it comes from, like, it's almost a chemical reaction of just getting those types of people together and then throwing something on the table, like cryogenic chamber. All right, what can we do with that? You know, and then we all just start thinking, like, well,
And
what
then do
about?
you start cracking up?
And
Just
then we
thinking about it? Do you
Yeah,
laugh?
yeah, of course we do. The room can be really fun and silly and
So
horrible.
you set them up. So you set up all the scenarios
Right.
for each segment. That's what you call them, segments?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you scope out the locations.
Mm-hmm.
And what do
Well,
you
sometimes
do?
we'll scope the location first to see what I would do in this location. Like we'd go to like Sabon or something and look and be like, okay, we could do soap tricks and what would be a cool thing to do, and take pictures of everything that's in the store, and then later like look at it and go, oh, there's sponges. Like, you know what would be cool? Like, what about? And we did this really great one at Sabon, but it came from seeing sponges. You know, it's like here we are in Sabon, we saw sponges. Like, what if they were alive? Like living sea sponges that like crawl on you and wash your body for you when you're in the tub. I was like, that would be pretty cool. So we did that.
So the ideas come pretty organically.
Organically,
And then
yeah.
do you...
But when they don't, it's pretty grueling, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we have to make a lot, so we go, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We have to make up, 5 more days. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know. And sometimes, sometimes the best stuff comes, and it's horrible, because we try to prepare as much as we can, but sometimes the best stuff comes, like, the night before. We'll be like, you know what we should do at Sabon? We should just totally forget that and just, like, make soap out of buffalo wings. Or something, and then like, could we do, all right, someone run out, get this, get that, get the other thing. It's like an endless, manic scavenger hunt making the show.
It's fun, it sounds like.
It is fun. It is fun with a lot of people.
A lot of pressure too.
I don't know if it's fun. I don't know. I think it's fun. There's a lot to be, well, it's work, and it's not supposed to be fun all the time. But the fun really comes, and this sounds like sentimental or whatever, but it really does come when some people come up and they like need the show. They really need the show. They really get so much from it, and that is really rewarding to hear that. And sometimes when I'm out on the field, so to speak, I'll have to think about that, because it can be a long day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this one more time. I don't even have the energy. And then I'm like, someone's at home is gonna be watching this. Or I think of my mom. I'm like, well, my mom's gonna watch this episode. I better do a good job.
So somebody might be having a really bad day and it's the perfect
I get a lot of people who
antidote.
say that. They say, I come home and I just watch you and it just takes away, I laugh. It's at the end of my night, I come home, have a glass of wine, watch your show. Or I'll watch the show with my whole family. We like talk about it together, and it's really good family time. That's an important, especially now. Oh my gosh, I feel responsible for that. and
Yeah, but
keeping
it's
that.
tough day to day
It's
to get
tough.
through it, especially when you have to do so many and you have to pull them off every time. And
Every
you're
time.
in front of the camera every time.
Every
and
time.
it really all rests on you.
That's right.
I mean, no pressure.
No, I know.
But it does, you know that.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you that.
That's why you can see I have blood shooting out of my eye right now. I popped the blood vessel. It's stress.
That should really be a bit.
Stress
In a
related.
second, it should actually have blood popping out.
It's pretty
from this.
funny that you say that, because the first episode, which we're airing on Thursday, starts with me pulling my eyeball out. And
I saw the...
yeah. Oh, you saw the clip for that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah. So.
Because I think they put it on Instagram or something.
Yep. We just released that.
So that was just a coincidence then?
That's coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in a second, blood isn't going to squirt out of your eye,
Maybe.
actually?
Maybe. They think that, people who know the show, like I'll go into a doctor's office and the nurses will be like, oh, I know, I've seen your show. And then like, we're going in for an exam, like they're gonna do a throat culture and they're like wondering, is this snake gonna come out of his mouth? I'm like, no, I'm just, here for...
So that doesn't ever happen? You don't ever pull a joke or prank or something?
Sometimes snakes come out. No,
Really?
not really.
Do you ever?
Not really.
Seriously?
No.
Never? Not on a friend or on your mom?
I mean, no, I don't like set up elaborate pranks for them or anything like that, no.
Just small ones?
I think it's just verbal stuff. I'll goof and just try and get them to believe something, or I'm practicing lying on it. They all pretty much have my number.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes me nervous to think about that. I start blushing, I feel like, thinking about how I would prank them. That would be great.
But I think people do make that assumption about anybody who they see doing something so well, is they assume that that person is always going to be doing that
I know.
on the side.
I know.
Is that annoying?
Yes.
Again, it's the
Yeah.
trade-off.
It is, yeah.
So you're always a funny kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you the kind of kid that would like deadpan things and get in trouble with the teachers, or?
Oh no, not like that. That's like very Juno. Not like that. But I got a lot. Michael's spending too much time entertaining the class.
You got notes? Or
I mean,
your mom, your
that's the
parents
best
got
review
notes?
ever. I mean, that was like, okay, well, I'll just do that then forever.
But how did your parents,
They were so supportive. Are so supportive.
even
Yeah.
when you were a kid and you were getting notes like that from the teacher?
Oh well, they were. I wasn't a great student because I was very distracted. Busy with other plans.
What were you thinking about?
Doodling, drawing magic tricks, monsters. Yeah.
So-
Anything but the task at hand, and I think that's never left.
So you found a way to channel that in a very healthy way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the show for a second.
Okay.
All right, so I'm sure that you have had terrible reactions from people.
Terrible.
Awful. They
What
got
do you mean?
mad.
No.
They wanted to beat you up.
Nope.
Nothing.
Everybody
Somebody
asks that.
cried.
I wonder, do people at home sit and watch the TV thinking to themselves, I want to punch that guy in the face? Because everybody asks me, do people ever get mad at you? Like, it's almost like, I don't know, were you mad while you were watching? Like, why would you
No, but
think
we're
that?
not that. We're watching.
I know, but nobody ever got mad. People have gotten frightened and run away, and I try to keep them in the room. And then when I reveal, sometimes they don't always go, oh my gosh, you got me, yay. Like, sometimes they're like, oh my God, are you serious? Like,
There was a guy with a pig segment, pig in a box.
Pigman.
Pigman. And he didn't seem, I don't know if he seemed freaked out. He really.
That was
he
the guy who was
seemed like-
cursing so much, it was...
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he was like bleep, bleep, bleep,
Yeah,
bleep,
bleep, bleep, bleep, bleep, bleep,
So
bleep.
he was really like, I was afraid, I was worried for him.
Yeah.
That he was like not going to deal with it very well.
Well, I mean, I've been worried before, like what happens, here in this segment, a person was, we were carrying a crate and then a hand came out of the crate and we were like, what? We dropped it, we opened it up and there was a live pig inside. So someone was in the crate and they turned to a pig. And who knows, like, I'm always wondering, like, is someone gonna like whip out a gun and just be like, shoot the pig? Like, this is crazy, like, abomination. I don't know,
That would be a problem.
There's been times.
Do you worry about that?
Yeah, sure. I've had people come in where I'm like, I'm not gonna run this on this person. They just,
You get the vibe.
yeah, I have to match the energy and, yeah.
I noticed too you have lawyers in the credits.
We do.
You do?
Yeah.
So you have some lawyers on staff.
Yeah, I'm not really that involved with that. I don't know, I think that's not, I don't know what that's for. That's just for like inner workings of the show, and everybody has to sign a waiver.
Yeah, but I figure right, like not
Some
everybody's
states,
just okay.
Some states don't even allow you to film somebody without it telling them they're being filmed. Other states, like Georgia and Chicago, will allow you to have a notice up in the store somewhere. Most stores do have a notice like that because you're being filmed every second you walk around this life anyway. But they will allow you to film and then ask permission. And obviously, we A, don't want to put anybody on TV who doesn't want to be on TV, and B, I don't know what B is.
Right.
B is, we just want their permission, of course, so they have to sign the waivers. That's what the lawyers are
But some
for.
people don't want to sign, I would imagine.
We do get people who don't sign. Yeah, from lots of reasons. Anywhere from, some people just have it in their head that they're like being had, and it's like one of those shows. I think that Hidden Camera kind of got a funk. I mean, Candid Camera was always really like, well, when Candid Camera came out, you were super excited, like, I'm on television, oh my God. And today's is a little different. So, and some Hidden Camera shows I think have been kind of mean you know, like you try boiling point, you like push someone to their limits and see if they'll yell, and so immediately when you go, oh, we're doing a hidden camera show, there's already people like, wait, hold on, I don't know if I want to be on it, what's it like? Oh, you know, they get nervous, so we have to like show them the show. And
right, but the Carbonaro Effect is totally like a friendly, happy show.
Exactly.
Like, not mean at all.
Exactly, and that's what sometimes someone needs to see before they'll sign. Like they'll just be like, I don't want to be on it. And we're like, look what we're doing. We're not making you look stupid. We're just showing that, you know, I would believe in this. It looked pretty good, you know. And then we'll show it to them, and they'll be like, yeah. Well, most people sign. We haven't had a ton over the years. I would say there's been maybe 5 bits that I remember being like, oh, please, can we call them again and ask if they want to do it? And some people, like, and they're not mad, but they're just like, I do not want to be on TV. I've never wanted to, and I just don't want to be on TV. And
yeah, I mean, nothing to do with the show.
Right,
just
right,
that
right.
they would prefer not to be on TV.
Yes.
So I'm just going to tell you a couple of the funniest ones that personally that I would not forget about because I have to express myself.
Yeah.
The one where you stored the dogs at like a kennel in a flat thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
That was an old one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So funny.
I'm glad you said that one. You know, that one came from a like deep memory of when I was a child and I saw Doug Henning on television, and he was performing a trick where he crushed a girl down into a flat disc. And at that age, gosh, I don't even know how old I knew he was a magician, but I didn't know it was a trick. I just thought he had these powers to do these things. And it was so unbelievably, curiously unsettling to see somebody flattened into a disc. And then he like pulled out his collection of other discs and put, you know, hey, pick a famous person. It's like, oh, Ed McMahon. And they put Ed McMahon, and Ed McMahon came out of the machine. So, and I thought it was really happening, and I was terrified and excited by it. So I think that might have been the one that really did it, that trick, seeing that stage illusion and just going, whoa, what is this world? And so when we made the Carbonaro Effect, I wanted to do like a riff on that. So we found the guy in Las Vegas who, you know, helped make the illusion, Johnny Thompson, who's like the guru, the godfather of magic, was like, well, we got to do this and talk to this guy, ask if he'll let you do it. And yeah, we put that one together and did the crush. And I made myself those dogs in those clear discs. You know, that's like my special effects background. Like I needed it to look exactly the way I would believe it, maybe. You know, so I had to like put my hands on that and make that myself. I love that one. I have some of those discs at home.
That's so funny. Yeah. So do you have like a workbench or something at home, like a little craft area?
Yeah, the whole house is a craft area.
Do you plan what you're gonna say?
Not like word for word. I'll think of what someone might ask me and maybe what. It always is better if I don't. I've tried that before, because sometimes like, oh, let me write a whole bunch of crazy sentences to explain this, and it doesn't work. It's just better.
It looks very natural.
It does.
Like you're just saying it off the cuff.
Yeah, off the cuff, and I gotta kind of, and I'm kind of cornered, you know, and I feel like artistically I get like, it's good to corner me. Like stuff comes up because it has to, because now I've got to get them to believe this right now. They're on the hook. It's totally like, oh gosh, what can I say? Like, what would I believe? And it just comes out. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do to decompress? Because obviously you have a very pressure-filled schedule all year round.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Pet cats. My kitties at home lay down just on the ground and absorb the sun. And painting, the watercolors really has been a therapy, you know, a decompression for me. I'll just sit and just scribble and color.
So what stresses you out in life? It can be about
everything
the show.
Except that. Everything except the watercolors and laying on the ground petting the cats.
So are you a stressed out person?
Oh my God, yeah.
Terribly?
I have blood in my eye. What, are you crazy?
So you are intense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I think I look back on journals and I've never been any different. Everything has always been like dramatic and like very intense. Like, I've got to find it. What am I going to do next? And what's the right thing? And am I on the right path? And what do I got to create? And how does this become part of this? And how do I put the pieces together? It's all very frantic. Like, I don't know why. Because we're going to die? I don't know.
Well, that could be it.
That could be it. So, but I mean, the intensity of the show is definitely, like I said, it's changed my life. I have to like I do live differently and behave differently, and have a different perception and awareness. But it hasn't been too much different than when I was in, you know, the Music Man in high school, and it was like, we're not going to get that thing finished in time, and this scene has to go this way, and it was the same.
It's your MO. It's who you are.
Yeah.
It's how you approach
I'm like
life.
shaking my head because it's really annoying most of the time.
Well,
It's
you
intense.
can manage
Yeah.
it a little, but you are who you are, and sometimes you have to just embrace that.
Yeah. Peter's great for that. He's just like,
Is he totally chill?
he's so chill. I mean, you know, he's a human being, but he's really grounding. Yeah. And everything is. If he was at a restaurant and he ordered the steak, but they accidentally brought the salmon, he would just eat it.
What would you do?
I would ask for the steak. Yeah, I would ask for the steak. But recently, though, I kind of like embraced that. Even like in a restaurant, when that happened, I thought of how Peter would do that, and I just like, you know what? I'm gonna eat the beets. Let's just eat the beet salad and forget about it. You know, like this is life today. It's kinda
Although
cool.
not the same. The beets.
No, the
as
beets.
The steak.
No, I didn't eat beets instead of a steak.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a big jump.
That would
It's a
be
very
different.
meditative, very grounded person.
How do you mic people up? I'm dying to
Isn't
know,
this
as somebody
great?
who works with microphones.
Let me tell you something. I wanted to do an It's like I want to do an expose on it, but I also don't want people to know because it's a pretty cool trick. We have a lot of tricks, a lot of secrets that are technical secrets that I don't know whether to count them as, you know, magic or not, or what to reveal or not. Because even where I hide the cameras, I don't like to exactly show someone what that hidden camera setup looks like because, you know, they might see it someday and I don't want them to recognize
But
it.
the mics, the
microphones.
How on earth? Your sound is good.
The sound's really good.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll have mics, extra mics on me. I'll put one on my shoulder if I'm going to be sitting next to someone. If they're coming up to me in a retail situation, it's perfect because I know they're going to be standing right there, and we can put mics hanging. We have times where if you're coming to work, you know, you have to go work. You wear a utility vest, and the utility vest has the microphone hidden inside of it, and that's gold. That's gold. But we get called out a lot. Someone's like, it's an actor because they're mic'd. I can hear the rustling or something like that. And I'm like, no, it's actually a person who doesn't know they're mic'd.
Oh, it's because it's some part of their work clothes.
It's part of
their,
we'll just like say, hey, throw this gear
something.
vest on, and it has like a tool in it and some other heavy stuff, and they're just like, all right, and they walk in and. Yeah.
So some people think it's fake?
Oh, the Carbonaro Effect?
Yeah.
Oh my God, but that is everyone.
Oh, everyone thinks it's fake?
Not everyone, but there's a
that never
lot of
crossed my
people
mind.
who. Well, there's been a lot of probably dishonest magicians in the television landscape. So people are curious and they want to know how stuff is done, and that's why doing live shows, you know, game over. It's like, oh, you think it's camera trick? Well, come see me live. Come see the live show.
Right.
Just
So
sit right
that's
there and watch it. You know, and that's always fun. The live shows are so great.
And you tour the country.
Yep, I've been touring all over the place. And
So if anybody wants to see you,
MichaelCarbonaro.com.
and they can book tickets,
Yep.
see you wherever
Yep.
they live, or you know, somewhere.
95% of the shows are all ages, so people come with their families. It's really awesome. I'm going to be doing a little residency in Vegas starting Memorial Day
How long is that?
at Planet Hollywood for like 20 performances. Yeah, afternoons. It's going to be great.
So everybody can come and see you. And
Everybody
they
can
should
come
see
and
you.
see me, yes.
And
Come say hi.
My last question for you is, do you sometimes want to just not reveal it to them and let them go about their day and their life wondering what the heck happened?
Wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, yes, I do. I think it's one of those things that, you know, like do unto others, because I would love that to be done for me, you know. And we've had a lot of people who, well, of course we have to reveal just to get the signature, but boy, it would be nice to leave somebody hanging. But we've had people say, like this season in particular, we did this one effect with this guy who, in broad daylight, thought he saw the ghost of my grandfather that ended up turning into a scarecrow. So he's talking to this person, and then the person's right there, and the next time he looks at him, it was just a scarecrow, and he thought he was talking to a scarecrow. And I'm like, it was made with my grandfather's jacket, and the guy was so in. But when I revealed to him, he's like, this is the coolest thing anybody has ever done. He's like, this is the coolest thing. He was just talking about people setting this up to have someone else have an experience like that. He was just like, thank you guys. This was the coolest thing anybody's ever done.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I want that too.
That is very cool.
I want that ride. So if you're out there, prank me. No, don't say that. I'll be doomed. I'll be sitting at Starbucks and somebody come by and be like, squirt me with their flour. I'll be like, that's not what I meant.
Michael, thank you so much for being on the show. Everybody, you can tune into truTV. Michael has a brand new season. The first half, as you know, are already filmed. The second half, you better watch out because you may be part of them.
Yeah.
And it's on truTV. What time?
10 o'clock, 9 Central, Thursdays.
And catch him live performances. Go to
MichaelCarbonaro.com. Check out my tour schedule.
All right,
You
Michael,
have to
thank
come
you.
and see a show,
I would
too.
like to. Also, please, I need to go see this being filmed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do a little inside
That's
scoop.
what I need.
Is that what they want? Is that what they want?
I can show them
Well,
or not show them.
To sign
I
a
need to see
non-disclosure. A lot of secrets around.
it. I can sign a non-disclosure.
All right, we'll talk off camera about it.
Okay, that was
That was
awesome.
awesome.